Good day, everyone. Just did my review of this little bad boy right here. This is the GiantMouse Nimbus. He'll come up here in a second, but I just wanted to say thank you so much to all the people that have been watching my videos, all 100 of you. So, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you watching my stuff, and hopefully you share my passion for tools and pocket knives and all that stuff. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching and enjoy the Nimbus. Good day, everyone. Ordinary average guy here, and today I'm going to be talking to you about this little beauty right here. This is the Nimbus by GiantMouse Knives. This is from their Ace line, which is sort of the budget line of GiantMouse knives. Here's a couple other ones. That's the Biblio and the Iona, a couple other popular knives from this series. It is designed by a couple gentlemen named Anso and Jesper Voxnaes. They don't, if you're into knives, you obviously know who those guys are. Very, very famous knife designers out of Denmark. Yeah, they designed this knife. You can kind of see the influence of Jesper in this knife. It's got his little signature teardrop spidey hole there. I just want to start by saying, there's a lot of knife makers out there, a lot of people doing different stuff. One nice thing about Jesper and Jens is they always make themselves super available on Instagram. They seem like really nice guys. I don't know them personally, but I do follow them on Instagram, and they do sort of answer any questions you have about their equipment, and they just seem to be really personable, nice guys, which is kind of refreshing, and it's a nice change of pace for this for this industry. So that's just one super cool thing I like about those guys. They also happen to make really nice knives. So let's talk about this guy. This is the Nimbus Ace line from the Ace line of the GiantMouse company. You can see here there's the GiantMouse Ace. You can see that there's no real markings on the blade to tell what kind of steel this is, or kind of where it's made. It's actually in the liner in here. It's kind of hard to see, but there it is right there. GiantMouse logo. You got Vox on one side, Anso on the other. That's obviously Jesper Voxnaes and Jens Anso. Excuse me. And also down there, you'll see it's made in Italy, and that it's M390 steel, which is what the blade steel is on this. It's a G10 handle with stainless steel liners. They kind of bead blasted them, which I think is kind of a cool touch. Skeletonized liners, you can see there, with a liner lock. So yeah, that's kind of the materials on this. It does have a ball bearing pivot system. You can see it just when you flick it open. It's a very flickable knife. There you go. As I screw it up a couple times. Anyway. Yeah, you can see it opens really smoothly. I like the ball bearing system on it. With the left hand you can do the spider flick, which I always appreciate. We'll get into that in a little bit though. It does have a wire clip. It is a deep carry pocket clip. This is sort of I think Spyderco is the one that kind of invented this clip, but it's a nice clip. I do appreciate it. It's a simple, really simple thing. It doesn't have a bunch of billboarding all over it, and it's really functional. It works well. This G10's not. It's grippy, but it's not overly grippy. I really like the texture of this G10. It's sort of different. Like if you look at the G10 on this, on the Biblio, you can see it's almost like a wood grain. This G10, the texture on it's just much different. It's got like almost like a micarta feel to it. Micarta, is that a word? I don't know. I just made it up. Just invented it. There we go. So it's a different feel, but it's not overly grippy where it's going to tear up your pocket with this pocket clip, but it still feels good in the hand. Ergos on this thing. The ergos are pretty damn good. It's a bigger knife. It's a 4-ounce knife, which is a little on the heavier end for everyday carry. But it's not, I kind of draw the line at about 5 to 6 ounces, and 4 ounces is pretty good, for what you get here, which is a nice big beefy handle. It's a 7.5-inch long knife with a 4.5-inch handle, so it's a 3-inch blade. and it's just the handle, you can see it fills the hand nicely. The ergos on it are great. The chamfering they did all around the edges of this thing is, you know, makes it for, you know, for a really nice hold. As you can see here, this is sort of a signature of the you know, GiantMouse knives. They do it on a few of them anyway. I don't know if it's a signature, but they put the jimping for the blade sort of halfway up the knife here, which means, you know, your thumb kind of falls to where that jimping in, which makes a lot of sense. I've heard Jesper, sorry, was on a YouTube a different YouTube channel, and he was explaining it. And it's because if the jimping's here on the knife, where a lot of knife makers will put their jimping, that's sort of where the knife pivots. So, you know, when the knife pivots, it pivots around this point, so it gives you less control if your jimping is down here. If it's up here, your thumb goes there, and it actually gives you a lot more control and stability, you know, over the blade of the knife, which makes a ton of sense. You know, can't argue with that logic, and it actually is, you know, it holds true. That does, it feels really good in hand. When you hold it ergonomically, it just feels really good. Now, there is a bit of a hotspot from this pocket clip. That's kind of one of the downfalls of this wire clip. You know, just because of the nature of it. It's got these, you know, it's obviously got two, you know, the wire comes down. It's got these two little lumps right here where the clip comes up. And those do tend to dig in your hand a bit. Besides that, ergonomically, it's really good. That's just the one kind of hot spot that has on this knife. I don't feel any other hot spots on this blade. On this handle whatsoever. It feels good to hold. You know, you can do it in the, you know, in this grip. I don't know what this grip's called. Pistol grip, maybe. Don't know. It feels good. You know, if you have your thumb up here, it feels really good. I think that would be a great grip, and I think this knife would be really good for processing game. I've processed a little game in my life, you know, and I think this knife would work really well. It's got this big full flat grind, and it's got that nice belly, so you can get those slicing cuts into the cartilage and you know, the tendons of the mate. So I think it'd be a great knife for processing game. And this, you know, this knife is designed to be used. It's not meant for pocket jewelry. Like, you know, there are some knives like this ZT here. This ZT, it's a great knife. I love it, and it's very well put together. But this isn't something you're going to take camping or going to take up to process an elk you just shot. So, you know, I think this knife they designed it to be used. They designed it for heavy use, using it in the, you know, taking camping or, you know, fishing. I'm going to take this thing up fishing. I mean, I can't wait. You know, I think it'll be great for gutting fish. You know, the blade on it's just a really nice shape and a really nice blade. It's a little bit thicker of a stock. You can see here compared to the Biblio, it's a little bit thicker, but it's not overly thick. Like this is the Polar, this is another Voxners design, and you can see it's got a really thick blade for how big it is. But you know, it's sort of designed for that use. It's designed for heavy use. So you know, you can just tell everything about this knife they designed for it to be used. And it just feels great. It's very simple. There's no, you know, it's not like some of these transformer knives you see out of China now that have the just titanium everywhere, and it's just, you know, it's slick and it looks great, and they're great looking knives, but they're just not meant to be used like this knife is. And you know, I would have no problem taking this thing camping and beating it up, and you know, feeling not terrible about it. It's a $175 knife, which is on the higher end of what I like to spend for a knife. I generally won't spend over $200 for a knife unless it really, really tickles my fancy. But you know, I think this is it's well priced for what you get. You get it, and it's quality. You can tell just the care was taken, like just the way that it fits together and how solid it feels. You know it was made with love, and you know it's made by a couple guys that you know wanted it to be used. And you know, I appreciate that. It's all their knives. You know, the Iona, this was the first GiantMouse knife that I got from the Ace line, and it's the same way. It's a knife that was designed and made to be used, and they're gorgeous knives. Now, I see this one online a bit. Sorry, on the IG. You know, it's not getting as much love as the Biblio, and I get it. The Biblio is just a great knife. I'm going to do a review on that one soon. But you know, if you've been looking at this thing, guys, and wanting to check it out, give it a shot. I was a little hesitant at first myself, But I decided, you know what, I just really like what they did with the Iona, and I thought I'd give it a shot. And it's just, I was so happy I did. It's a great knife and a beautiful user, and I can't recommend it highly enough. It's made by a couple really nice guys who care about making quality knives, and they did it. These are quality, just basic, simple user knives, and they're just high quality materials done well, which I really appreciate. Now, one thing, guys, I'm a lefty, and one thing that just I was so bummed out about was it's not a true ambidextrous knife in the sense that a lefty and a righty will have the exact same experience with this knife. Now, it's ambidextrous in the way that I can open it with both hands. That's true. This way I can do the Spidey flick to flick it open. This way I can use it as a traditional opener, but I can't. It just because of this the design of this where you have the little cutout for the liner lock. It's not the same on both sides. So right there, you can open it with your thumb on this side. You've got to get it down and dig, and it's just, maybe you can flip it if you can. More power to you. I haven't been able to do it, so that's just the one thing that bummed me out about it. But I understand why. This part right here, you don't want to dig it out on both sides because it just wouldn't, the ergonomics wouldn't be there anymore. So I get it. I don't know if there was a way to overcome that, but it's not a deal breaker for me. Being able to flick a knife open is not going to make or break a knife for me. I look at usability. I look at what am I going to use this knife for. And to be honest, when I first got it, I'm like, $175 knife. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But this is going to go into my, I'm going to use it every day. I'm going to carry it around, but I'm also going to take it camping with me. I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it to gut fish. I'm going to use it to, to go camping and do chores around the campsite. So, if you've been looking at this knife, guys, it's from by GiantMouse. And if you've been looking at one, I know, a lot of people that go, it didn't really do it for me when I saw it. Just check it out. Get one, put it in your hand, and then make a decision after that. Most places have a pretty lax return policy. So, if you find a chance to check this knife out, I would definitely suggest it. Beautiful knife, quality materials made by a couple nice guys, and by a company that really cares. They're not just crapping out knives willy-nilly. They're designing knives individually for purposes, and this one was designed to be used, and boy did they do a good job. Just the full flat grind, the sliceability of it, and just the multifaceted different uses you can use this with this knife. It blew me away. Was very happy with it, and I think you will be too if you check it out. It opens nicely. It feels like a quality knife, and it is. So that's my review on this bad boy. I want to thank. I've had like 100 views on my other videos, guys. I can't tell you how happy I am about that. Thank you so much, everybody who watched. If you want to leave me any comments, tell me how much I suck at this. Please leave a comment down below. If you like my stuff, subscribe to my channel. If not, thank you so much for watching anyway. If you hate my voice, trust me, I hate it too. I've been living with it for 36 years, and I cringe every time I hear it too. So anyway, check out the Nimbus by GiantMouse. And I promise that you guys, you'll like it. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and can't wait to make another one.